Africa was not called Africa before the colonial era. That's a fact that most of us were never told. Before the borders were drawn, before the flags were printed, and before the names were changed, this vast land had its own soul, its own rhythm, and its own identity. Our ancestors did not call this continent Africa. That name came much later, imposed not by the people who lived on the land, farmed its soil, worshipped in its valleys, or built civilizations beside its rivers, but by those who came from outside, carrying swords in one hand and scrolls in the other. The name Africa, a label now recognized across the globe. But where did it truly come from? Why was it accepted so readily, almost without question? And what profound connection to our past did we lose, perhaps irrevocably, when our original names, resonant with history and identity, were taken from us and replaced? Let us embark on a journey back in time, a voyage into the annals of history. Back before ink first touched the maps, sketching out arbitrary boundaries, before borders were drawn with callous disregard for the people who lived there, back before the great empires fell, their legacies fading into the sands of time, and new ones rose from the ashes. Long before they called it Africa, our ancestors, the custodians of this ancient land, had names, each rich with meaning and significance for their lands. In the north, the ancient people of the Nile, the cradle of civilization, called their land Kemet, meaning the black soil, a testament to the rich, fertile earth left behind after the Nile's annual flood. To the south, vast and unexplored lands stretched out towards the horizon, where the people of the earth, in their diverse tongues, called their world Ta-Seti, Ta-Nehisi, and countless other names that we now only glimpse in weathered stone carvings. Names that echo with the voices of the past, but are rarely spoken aloud today. In parts of the continent, in the highlands and valleys, what we now call Ethiopia was once the mighty Aksumite kingdom, a powerful civilization known far and wide for its wealth, its influence, and its architectural marvels that still stand as testaments to its grandeur. And that name, Ethiopia, a term laden with history, was used by Greeks and early outsiders not just to refer to one specific country, but to describe a large and undefined part of the continent, the mysterious lands inhabited by dark-skinned people, lands perpetually bathed in the warm embrace of the sun. And then there was a name. One name that resonated with a deeper meaning, a name that carried the weight of history, the significance of identity, and the enduring power of memory, alkabulan. This ancient name is said to mean Mother of Mankind, or alternatively, Garden of Eden, depending on which ancient tongue and scholarly interpretation you subscribe to, a powerful testament to the continent's fundamental and foundational role in the unfolding story of human history and civilization. Whether from Moorish roots or Arabic scripts, or from earlier voices now forgotten, the meaning is clear. It was a name of dignity, a name that spoke of origin, of greatness, of home. That is what they called this land. Not Africa, but alkabulan. But that name was pushed aside, slowly erased. And the question is, how? We must understand what the Romans did. When they marched across the lands we now call Tunisia and Algeria, they fought wars, the Punic Wars, against the Carthaginians. After they had won, they renamed the land they conquered. They called it Africa Terra, land of the Afri people, a local Berber tribe near Carthage. So you see, Africa was once the name for just one small piece of land, not the whole continent. But maps are not drawn only with ink, they are drawn with power. And once a name appears on the scrolls of the powerful, it begins to spread like a tide. Over time, that Roman name was expanded. First, it covered more of North Africa. Then, as more outsiders arrived, exploring, invading, colonizing, and carving the land for themselves, the name was extended to include the entire continent. And our ancestors? They were never consulted. Their languages were dismissed. Their names, their stories, their own understanding of geography, pushed aside. They inherited the name Africa without their agreement. It came not as a gift, but as part of a system where identity was taken and rewritten, a system where the map was redrawn, and with it, the memory of a people reshaped. Let us pause here, because this is not just a story of names, it is a story of power. Names are not innocent. They shape how we see ourselves. They shape how others see us. And when a name is taken, when it is replaced by another, something is also erased. History, pride, and even self-awareness. It's like a piece of your soul, chipped away, lost to the winds of time and imposed will. Imagine, for thousands of years, you called your home something sacred, something deeply meaningful, a word resonating with the spirit of your ancestors. Then one day, someone comes, an outsider, and calls it something else entirely, something foreign to your tongue and heart. They write it in the books, draw it on the maps, and teach your children that new name. Soon, the old name becomes forgotten, fading into the mists of time. And with it, the memory of who you were, the essence of your being, slowly slips away. That is precisely what happened to our continent. A profound shift in identity imposed upon us, a renaming that echoed through generations. They called us Africa, a name derived from Roman conquests, and slowly but surely, we began to call ourselves that too, not fully knowing the weight of that name, that it was not originally ours to begin with, a label applied from afar. But the question remains, a question that stirs within the soul. Should we reject it now, after all this time, after generations have known no other name? This is the central question, the heart of the debate. Many brothers and sisters ask, should we go back to alkabulan, to the names of old, to the words that resonated with our ancestors? Should we reclaim the names our ancestors once knew and cherished, names that held the stories of our people? Should we remove the layers that were placed on us without our voice or consent, stripping away the imposed identity? Some say yes, absolutely, with unwavering conviction, that returning to the old names is a powerful way of finding ourselves, of reconnecting with our roots and reclaiming our true identity again. That if we continue to use the names of empires and foreign powers, we are still, in essence, walking in borrowed shoes, never truly our own, forever bound to a history not of our making. But others say this: the name Africa has now become more than what the Romans intended it to be. We, the people of the continent, have poured our blood, our sweat, and our pride into it. We have redefined it through our struggles, our revolutions, and our hard-fought unity, imbuing it with new meaning and a spirit of resilience. The name may have come from the outside, but the spirit that carries it today is undeniably from within. It's a paradox, isn't it? A name not originally ours, now worn as a badge of defiance, resilience, and a testament to our enduring strength. They gave us a name intending to define us, to confine us within its boundaries. But they could not control what we would ultimately do with it, how we would reshape its meaning, and imbue it with our own essence. Today, when we proudly say Africa, we are declaring something they never intended. We are here, rising with purpose, forging our own path. This land is rightfully ours, and we are its rightful inheritors. But we must never forget our past, the struggles, the triumphs, the lessons learned. Forgetting is the first step to being controlled again, to repeating the mistakes of history. Before Africa, there was alkabulan, Kemet, Ethiopia, Libya, lands of the Moors, Zulus, Ashanti, Yoruba, and countless other vibrant cultures. These were not empty lands waiting to be discovered, but thriving civilizations with distinct identities, rich histories, and profound contributions to the world. Let us not forget how the name Africa came to be, the circumstances surrounding its imposition, and the narratives it sought to erase. Teach our children the names that came before imposed borders and foreign tongues, before the distortions of colonial narratives. Our true identity did not begin with colonization, nor does it end with it. It stretches back millennia, a tapestry woven with resilience, innovation, and unwavering spirit. Africa is not the name that defines us, but a name we have redefined, reclaimed, and imbued with our own power. We are the living memory of alkabulan, the proud children of Kemet, the inheritors of a legacy that spans continents and millennia. We remember who we were before that name, and we are walking forward toward who we must become, a united, prosperous, and self-determined continent. May we rise again, stronger than ever, guided by the wisdom of our ancestors and the boundless potential of our youth.